Hello, dear friends. We're going to take a look at the diary of a German soldier who fought near Leningrad in 1941 to 1942. There is very limited information about the author of the diary, except the information that he gave in his diary entries. His diary captures his reflections and assessments about the situation at the front and in Germany. In addition, he had problems with the Gestapo, which is extremely uncommon. Don't forget to rate the video and leave your comments about this diary for us. Here we go. Diary of a German Soldier, 10th Company, 1st Infantry Regiment, 1st Infantry Division. July 16, 1941. I was called up for military service. July 17th. We took the oath. There was worship service in the gymnasium before that. August 17th. There was a worship service again. Hans and I were serving. September 9th. I got news from home that Ferdy Wallbrecher was killed in Russia. During the battles of Revel, on 20 August, Ferdy Wallbrecher died in the battle. Last Sunday of September, Hans and I spent in Aachen. It was a pleasure to see Germans, German men, women, and German girls. I hadn't noticed the difference before, when we first arrived in Belgium. One has to be away from one's homeland in order to realize his or her love for the homeland. October 10th, 1941. I'm on guard duty. Today was a reassignment to the active army. In the morning, there was checking the list. They're almost exclusively from construction battalions. Among the July recruits, there were only a few mortarmen. What can a man do? All I could do is wait. And the next time, it'll probably affect me too. Why would I volunteer? Well, I know that it would be harder to serve there, much harder, but still. October 14th. Tuesday. On Sunday, machine gunners were selected from the 1st platoon. I was one of them. We were required to swallow 20 pills of quinine in order to be tested for suitability in tropical conditions. The answer came back on Monday, pass, but I heard the sending out was canceled. Why? Well, we had an inspection today. It was led by our company commander. It's all just theatrics. As you could have foreseen, things went well. I was taken on leave to Lucic. October 22nd. The rest period has already passed. I was all right. We still had the military priest. I served him during service. In the afternoon, he showed us Lucic. It was a pleasant day. It was like being among the people again. Hans, Günther, and Klaus left. Nobody knows if we will ever see each other again. I haven't had any news from my brother at home for weeks. After I got the news of Ferdy Wallbrecher's death, this made me feel that my brother will also be killed. May God protect my parents, especially my mother, from this. Werner Kunz and Kosman were killed. We didn't get any news from Africa. Written by Fried Grislam. November 20th. 5 days passed in Elfenborn. There, the serving period was quite uneventful. Besides firing a platoon, there was practically nothing we did. Nevertheless, we were in Germany, and it felt good. I visited a priest in Elfenborn. It was understandable the attitude of the Germans in the former Judenmalmedy. We expected a different Germany, a less anti-Christian one. However, there were some Walloon villages, and not a few. During the firing, someone lit a fire. Just standing there looking at the flames reminds you of old memories, like it used to be. There couldn't have been anything better for me right now than to set off with a few of the boys, but my friend also wrote to me about time wasting. These days when we are at the prime and we want to make the most of it, what wouldn't you be doing? And what missions await us? It's sad that 2 marching battalions are being formed again. The news from home was Willy Wallbrecher was also killed. We've made our sacrifice too. Willy was the 4th. Who's next? November 25th. Willy Schefter in the infirmary. He was a real companion. I've been thinking ever more often that I'm wasting my time here aimlessly. I hesitate as to what I want to be. Africa, a technical profession, or a priest just for God. There's no companionship in our room. I would like to get to the front sooner. It would be good for me. November 26th. Yesterday morning, the dispatch order was unexpectedly received by all. Nobody wanted to believe it when we were assembled, but it happened. The day passed in preparation for the sending off. Finally, what I was expecting came. There comes a more difficult but better, if that is the right expression, time. Now it is up to you to show whether you are a man or a coward. I hope this experience will be a lifelong gain for me. I will become more mature. We'll be moving on tomorrow, probably to Dusseldorf. Who knows if we won't be celebrating Christmas already in Russia? It is said that we will get to the Southern Front. As for the general enthusiasm for drinking, I don't want to write about it. It won't last long. December 8th. This week, I've written various things, and there could be even more to write about. Things about general enthusiasm, duty at the moment, etc. Dusseldorf. That's not good for you. No. On Wednesday, Magdalena was here too. My parents visited me last Sunday. The Gestapo had done a search and taken away my letters and other things. Comments are needless. On Sunday, I will get leave and find out more about it. Then they went to the dealer and took away a lot of things there. Whether they had the right because we live in Germany. The dealer was taken to the Gestapo and sent from there to Dortmund, where he is in pre-trial detention. They were still there until Sunday. Johann is also there. I think there are 60 to 100 people being held. December 12th. We've been on the way since Wednesday. We will be in Insterburg on 13 December and cross the border on 15 December, according to the information. America entered the war too. It's crowded in here. Whether we will get to the Southern Front is uncertain now. Concerning the Gestapo, I met our captain. He promised me all possible support. I wrote a letter, but there's still some little details. Let's see. We'll be somewhere for Christmas. December 13th. I wrote a letter to the Gestapo. The captain will probably sign the request. What else could I want? I've made my point in a businesslike manner. Success seems questionable. We're in Insterburg. East Prussia is almost behind us. I haven't shaved since Monday. Unshaven and away from home. I still haven't met any friendly relations. I hope things are better at the front in that respect. If not, it would be a great disappointment to me. December 16th. Lithuania, Latvia are behind us. We are in Estonia. In Šiauliai, we had a long stopover. I was in the city. There was nothing interesting. Riga was already better. Unfortunately, we couldn't get into the city. We're in a terrible mood. 2 of us got into a fight yesterday, 2 more today. Comradeship among us isn't real. It's an illusion, a utopia. Lithuania is a flat country, spreading wide before our eyes. It is a poor country. There are wooden huts everywhere. You can't call them houses, covered with straw. They are small and cramped inside. Latvia is not as flat. One part is mountainous, covered by forest. There are houses, even in the villages, that are better, looking prettier. In Estonia, there is also a lot of forest and hills. The population is very nice here. The language is not understandable at all. There is also not much of anything here. There is no vodka, food, cards. It is said that 10,000 Jews, German Jews, were shot in Riga. Comments are needless. 3 people were shot for robbery. I support that, as harsh as it is. There must be decisive action to prevent this from spreading. This is a mistake. We haven't been to Estonia yet on Tuesday. December 18th. Russia. We passed through Estonia very quickly. Russia is an endless country. Tundra. We got our ammunition. We took the following route. Riga to Volga, Estonia, to Pskov. To Pskov, Russia. The city of Pskov is said as the 3rd most beautiful city in Russia. I read Shakespeare, The Merchant of Venice, and Hamlet. We are in 10 kilometers from Pskov, and we are likely to stay here for a long time. I like Shakespeare. December 19th. We are still near Pskov. In fact, the Russians damaged the railways heavily, and there aren't many steam locomotives here. I gave some Russians bread. They were so grateful for this. They are treated worse than cattle. There are about 1,000 of the 5,000 Russians left. It's a shame. What would Dwinghoff Ettifager say if they knew this? Then I visited a peasant. When I gave him a cigarette, he was happy. I looked into the kitchen. Poverty! They treated me to cucumbers and bread. I left them a packet of cigarettes. I couldn't understand a word from the language except Stalin, Communist, Bolshevik. The encirclement around St. Petersburg was breached by the Russians a few days ago. The Russians had reached a distance of 40 kilometers. Against the tanks, they couldn't do anything. The Russians are extremely strong here. Whether the encirclement is secure on the lakeside, it's doubtful. Our troops are too few there. When will Leningrad fall? The war, when will it end? December 21st. It's Sunday. There is no sign of it at all. The trip was over. We were unloaded in Gachina. The population surrounded our carriages, asking for bread, etc. It is good to bring joy to a child, a woman, or a man, but there are too many of them. We are 6 kilometers away from the station. In one room, there are 16 of us with 4 wide beds. There are 3 people per bed, and the other 4? I don't want to say anything about the last days in the carriage. I could not see a sign of soldierly friendship. It is said that more than 100 prisoners died during one night in one prison camp. December 22nd. Our flat is good. Our landlady, she is Finnish, is very kind, but she is poor. We give her lots of things. It is better to share than to take. December 24th. It is Christmas Eve in Gachina. The majority of the churches were destroyed by German pilots, not by the Reds. There is still a cross on the palace. Brauchitsch resigned, or was dismissed. What does that mean? December 27th. Christmas passed. In fact, those were very sad days. There could be no real Christmas spirit. It is said that the 1st Division, due to participating in heavy battles, will be sent to the south of France. For this reason, we will get in probably with the 12th Division. I hope so. Others would like to get to the south of France too. We saw 7 wagons of soldiers today, arriving from the Leningrad encirclement. These soldiers looked awful. You don't see such images in the newsreels. It is getting gradually colder here. It's 20 degrees. He wrote something about the soldier's life. I think a lot about Dealer, Johann, and everything concerning them. December 30th. We're being sent to the 1st Division today or tomorrow. There'll be something with Dealer, Johann, and the others. January 3rd, 1942. It's New Year's Eve. Will the war end in 1942? We set out from Gachina on December 31st. When we passed 15 to 20 kilometers, 2 buses and 1 truck arrived, which took 60 men immediately to the 1st Division. Among those 60 were I, Unten, and Quikinga. We were immediately assigned to regiments in the division. 3 of us went to the 1st Regiment. The same evening, we were taken to the 3rd Battalion, where we spent the night in a bunker, as cold as ice. It was a New Year's present. Later, we were assigned to our companies. Unten and I went to the 10th Company. We handed over our food to the kitchen and marched to the company, which had been on a 5-day rest period and was just returning to the front by the evening of the 1st of January. Here we are in a bunker. For 6 or 7 hours a day, we stand on guard. For the rest of the time, we lie down or eat. A life unworthy of a man. Our position is between Leningrad and Schlüsselburg here, near the Neva, at the point where it makes a sharp bend. The crossing is still under Russian control. We are to the left of it. The bunker is not bad compared to others. It's quiet here. Mortars are shooting from time to time. Last night, 1 man was killed. 1 man was killed in the 2nd platoon today. Our lives are in God's hands. We have to stay on the front line for 10 days and then 5 days of rest. The company has 40 to 50 men. There are only 3,000 men left alive from the division, which had 15,000 men. The encirclement around Leningrad is not secure. Meals are very good. January 4th. We look like a pig. That's not much to say. You can't wash your face. And there, eating like that. I don't write like this to complain. It just needs to be written down. Yesterday, we brought in a dead man. We're not carrying a treasure. We're carrying a dead man. Other people don't pay attention to it. This is because you see too many dead people. Friendship. Will it still be here? I don't know. Or maybe I'm still getting used to my new surroundings. Johann and the Dealer. What could it be? You get often mad when you think about this nastiness. Afterwards, when you think that you are at the front here, there are questions that you would like an answer to. But there is a difference between the government and the people. This is the only solution. January 7th. There was a new arrival from the 4th Marching Company yesterday. There is talk that we will be replaced in the next few days. Comrades often sing a beautiful song. Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. Throughout the day, Heil Hitler. And on Sundays, Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler. They sing this song to the melody of Hedwigsand, Hedwigsand. The machine doesn't sew. Comments are needless. There is 1 soldier in our unit. He is a Catholic. He is 35 years old. A peasant. He has 6 cows and 1 horse. He is from Altenburg. It is a 2.5-hour walk from Bruchide. It might be possible to use him for a group in some way, or... January 9th. Yesterday there was talk that we were leaving here. The wagon is supposedly already loaded. Everyone believes it. I believe it's true too. I call it a great embarrassment. The comrades are happy. I understand those who have been here since the beginning, but those of us who have just arrived and are already back, it's just a scandal. But there's nothing we can do about it. No one knows where they're going. To Königsberg or to Finland for skiing? January 13th. We're resting. If you can call it rest. It is better than on the front line anyway. Regarding the shift, a new position is being built behind the Maga, where the transport unit is located. January 18th. We're back on the front line for 10 days, this time on the right southern position. We have to put up a few more posts. The bunker is small and cold. The talks have really been for naught. It will probably last a long time. However, we suppose we won't be here during the spring offensive, because then we're lost, everyone says. Things get ridiculous when it comes to friendship. Sometimes you're happy, and there are also occasions where you find yourself in the most uncommunicative and selfish situations. It's going to be collecting cigarettes again soon, because comrades really don't deserve to be given cigarettes all the time. January 30th. I couldn't find time to write further until today. It turned out to be 13 days instead of 10, but it was pretty good in the bunker. During this time, I shaved once and washed in a lid of water, 1/4 of a liter. Von Lieb also left, or was removed. Reichenau died. It is uncertain how this is to be understood. I don't mind being in Germany either. February 2nd, 1942. The 2 days of rest were soon over. On Sunday, 31 January, the order came. At 6 p.m., we went out and back again. We had to be here only the next morning, at 6 o'clock. At night, we changed our clothes and washed up. We were further east from the old position. We are again by the river Neva. The area is more peaceful and better. The bunkers are all quite comfortable. The company occupied a section of defense of 1,800 meters. There are 4 men in our squad. We post 1 man for the night. This would be fine if we weren't involved with other things during the day, carrying ammunition. It's said we'll stay here until the offensive. We don't get trench rations. That's not proper. February 15th. I'm in another unit again. We're going to a different place tomorrow. Erwin Schultz was wounded by a mine fragment on 7 February. As a result, we have to stand 3 men on post. It's quite a lot, but other units are still standing the same. So we must be satisfied. It's still quiet here. I enjoy every letter from home. I know about Johann and Diller at last now. I'm finishing. Prayer should not be forgotten. I will be glad for the first time when I will be free from military service and be able to live my life as I want to, not like everyone else. February 22nd. We're still in the same position. It's getting colder again. I'm satisfied with the post service. We had the Gestapo. They wanted to know the address. I hope to hear something about it soon. February 27th. Today I turned 19 years old. Corporal Schiller arrived from Maga. His wound was not terrible. It was not caused by the Russians. It was done by Domerak. I'm already excited about the day when I can start working, free from military service. Non-commissioned officer Riedel seems to be a big pig. There is still nothing to be heard from the Gestapo. If it were possible to have a few days of not hearing anything about the things that are so disgusting at all. March 9th. Several days have gone past. It would be great to sleep for a few nights. I am short of food, too little bread. There is talk of Vienna, Koblenz, etc. March 12th. There were approximately 100 to 200 shots per rifle and 600 to 1,000 shots per machine gun between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. There were also a mass of illumination rockets fired. There was silence after 10 o'clock. We were not to show ourselves during the day. This was done in the part from the crossing to Schlüsselburg, approximate distance of 15 kilometers. In this way, command intended to attract defectors or to send a reconnaissance party, as they needed prisoners to get evidence. A man appeared on the left wing of our company during the night of March 9 to 10. Whether he was a defector or not, there is some dispute among eyewitnesses. He told us a lot. The positions were badly defended. There was nothing to eat. The company commander was supposedly a Jew, etc. It is doubtful whether it is true or not. I do not know how many Russians were captured by us in the area. Another thing was said that if we did not get prisoners, we would have to send a reconnaissance unit across the Neva River. which is, you might say, Die Hard's team. Volunteers forward. We must bring prisoners. I haven't heard anything about the Gestapo yet. March 20th. We were loaded and moved to the village of Shopki, a little further away, at 8:30 p.m. March 21st. A reconnaissance unit in the forest. March 24th. It's around 3 a.m. Command, get ready. Now, as a battalion reserve, we're sitting in bunkers, where the sun is shining. Artillery fire is the worst. 10th Company, 9 casualties. 11th and 12th Companies, 51 casualties. 9th Company, 40% casualties. Our position is in the village of Maga. Meals improved. Easter. What will happen at Easter? At this point, the diary comes to an end. There is no reliable information about the fate of the diary's author. However, I am guessing that he was taken prisoner rather than killed. That's all for today. Please support the video with a like and subscribe to the channel if you liked it. See you all later.